My name is Tristan Botang, and this is my submission for the ECS 1021 main project. So here we have an automated plant watering system, and we use the Grove Arduino board, a soil moisture sensor, and a pump, all controlled by Java, using the Firmata 4J, which is shown in my main program. My program reads moisture levels and automatically waters the plant when needed based on the threshold, if it surpasses it or if it's under. For the first learning outcome, I verified the system using unit testing, which, as you can see, passed all 4 tests. And for the second learning outcome, I followed the project specification and used the Firmata 4J API to communicate with the Grove board. The sensor is connected to the analog pin A0, and the pump is controlled through the MOSFET on the digital pin D3, which is shown on the pin numbers in the code below. And if you scroll down a bit to the bottom, we can also see the logic setup I used for the OLED display, which is also connected to our graph. For learning outcome number 3, I used the XY series from the JFreeChart library instead of array list or hash map, because it's built for plotting time-based data and automatically pairs each moisture reading with a timestamp, which is made ideal for this project and creating my real-time graph. It consistently updates, which will be shown on our graph and on our OLED display based on the sensor readings. For the 4th learning outcome, I created an event-driven state machine, which is shown in the code below. If the soil is dry, the pump turns on, and if it's wet, the pump shuts off, which is shown by the comparison between the sensor value and the moist soil value. The OLED display on the Arduino shows the current moisture value, which is constantly updating, and whether the water is being pumped or not into the plant. For the 5th learning outcome, I used object-oriented programming by creating separate classes for the graph and my main and the soil. I started with basic outputs and improved the project to include real-time graphing on the OLED display and automated control logic. Once I start the actual demo, you can see that the water or the sensor reads that there isn't enough water, so the pump begins to transfer water over to the plant, and it shows on the OLED display, and eventually it does stop. My name is